Kerrigan.
So Heart of the Swarm actually started in concept many years ago. So at this point we're about 50% of the way through if I were to estimate. But oftentimes the very end of the game, the last 10% can take the longest period of time. And then as far as the campaign goes, it's a little bit shorter as far as amount of content than Wings of Liberty, but somewhere a little bit more than 20 missions is what we intend to ship.
I can remember so little from before.
I am the memory of you as the Queen of Blades.
What was I like? I remember doing terrible things. I remember blood and darkness.
You were mighty. You made us strong and smart, and we knew we would survive forever under you.
And now?
Now Zagara opposes you, because she believes herself stronger. If she is, we will serve her when you are dead.
I'll kill all of you before I let that happen.
So the main concept for Heart of the Swarm is this is the Kerrigan story. And Kerrigan is coming back. As you all know, Kerrigan looks a little different right now from what you've seen in maybe some of the shots. But basically, this is her story, and we want to focus on the events that led her to where she's at now. New unit-wise, we have a lot of new units in-game where take your basic unit like the Zergling. You can customize your Zergling into something called a Raptor, which gives him the ability to jump and leap on his enemies. We have you make a Swarmling, and a Swarmling gives you 3 Zerglings instead of 2. And so that's just the basic kind of example of what we're doing with some of the units. You can be sure that we're going to be doing that philosophy with some of your other units, like the Baneling, the Rogue, and a bunch of other Zerg units. And basically the philosophy for Heart of the Swarm is she's sort of the fallen Queen of Blades now. Will she get her powers back? Who knows? You'll have to follow the story and find out.
But we really wanted to get the fans a chance to see the work we were doing on Heart of the Swarm and show how different Heart of the Swarm is from Wings of Liberty. So people could see sort of the story elements, see what's going on with Kerrigan, see what's going on with the different game mechanics that you can play as you play through Heart of the Swarm. And it gives us a chance to get feedback from both our fans and from the press who've been able to get hands-on the software to see what they think, to see if the direction we're going is good.
The Flash is going to learn the hard way that I am Queen.
Flash freeze approaching. The Protoss will be vulnerable until it passes.
Warriors,
Flash freeze.
activate your shields until the flash freeze passes.
Yeah, so from Wings of Liberty to Heart of the Swarm, there's definitely some lessons learned. We're really trying to make sure our missions allow players to complete the game. I mean, we looked at the statistics from Wings of Liberty, and there are definitely certain missions where players tended to not return after those missions. So we're trying to make sure in Heart of the Swarm that there aren't those same things. The other side of it will be the multiplayer side, which we don't have any specific examples to go into, and we'll make some decisions learned from Wings of Liberty in Heart of the Swarm.
So we all really love watching esports here at Blizzard, and we certainly all love watching the GSL. And we've actually had to tell people on the team, stop watching GSL, go back to work. We've got to finish Heart of the Swarm. Definitely a big Nesty fan now after watching him build spine crawlers in front of a Protoss player's base and wipe out his forces. I know we were also really surprised. Many, many months ago now, we watched Marine King perfectly spread out his Marines against Banelings. Everyone knew you couldn't use Marines against Banelings until that moment. And we're like, oh my God, look what he can do. So we really enjoy watching players invent new styles of play, and we really love watching new players come up with things that we've never seen, never anticipated, and just watching the players really engage with and explore and really take StarCraft 2 in directions that we never intended.
So we just released the 133 patch, and we're still looking for new issues. But judging from the stats or pro feedback and different materials, we're noticing that the balance of every matchup is pretty solid right now. So we're going to be focusing more on specific strategies that are a little more OP at a certain timing rather than trying to buff a race or nerf a race. And we're also trying to replace almost half of the ladder maps in the next season. So you can definitely look forward to that as well. We'd definitely like to see more foreign players playing in GSL. Looking at the World Championship games, we realized the skill difference between foreigners as well as Korean players is not as big as a lot of people believe. And so therefore, because GSL is the greatest and biggest StarCraft 2 tournament in the world, it would definitely be cool to see foreigners performing well as well as getting the recognition of the skill that they have.
I think balance designers should be in Code S too, just automatically.
Yeah.
You know.
And the part of the prize pool should be set aside for balance designers.
Totally.
Even
if they don't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I lose.
Yeah, so you're right. There are some definitely Korean-inspired structures and buildings in Wings of Liberty. The development team was really inspired. We made a trip to Korea. Everybody on the StarCraft 2 team made a trip to Korea, was inspired by the different architecture, put it into the game, and we had to make specific changes to make sure it wasn't too precise, but we definitely are inspired by Korea. Korea did influence things in Wings of Liberty and will influence things in Heart of the Swarm. It is, Heart of the Swarm is a campaign that is based around Kerrigan and creatures, but I'm sure in some way that there will be some influences seen throughout there. I don't have any specific examples at this time.
We need to go out to Korea again and take some pictures so we can have reference material.
Right.
So we'll have to go to Korea again. Soju, yes.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the bottle. Some Zerg Bulgogi.
Okay.
Stay strong, Korea, for the swarm!
Fighting GSL, fighting StarCraft 2.
Korean StarCraft players are some of the most passionate StarCraft players in the entire world. We here at Blizzard are very thankful for all of our Korean fans and all of the amazing energy, effort, and passion that our Korean fans have put into playing StarCraft, promoting StarCraft, playing esports, and putting on great tournaments like the GSL. We're very thankful for all of your efforts and all of your passion. So good luck and have fun. I love GOM TV and the GSL.
Go like this.
I love GOM TV and the GSL.
Like this, like this. You
Oh,
have to
like
make a
this. Oh,
heart.
Can you guys send me a screen grab of that?
I love GOM TV and the GSL.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Welcome back to the GSL. I am Wolf, and with me is Moletrap. Trying to finish a snack before. You said you were getting a snack. It's no secret. Told everybody.
It's true.
Finished it. I wasn't so lucky. Wasn't able to get a snack.
Sorry. You want some of mine?
No, 'cause we're on screen now. We're casting. I don't eat on camera. That's
Well,
rude.
I'll give it to you when we're not on camera anymore.
Psh,
Anyway.
like, that's gonna happen.
Okay. You're right. We're going to be on camera for the rest of the
Yeah.
evening.
Actually, we're gonna cast like this while the game's on. He goes, "But I can't see that. We're like, gonna give you play-by-play."
See that screen over there? Yeah, we're just going to put the game there and you can look over our shoulders at it. Not the case, actually. By the way, for those of you just joining us, Tastosis was scheduled to cast today, but again, there was a bit of a scheduling error, and they are actually on a flight right now. They may have landed at this point. I'm not sure when they left, but they were flying to Columbus today to cast MLG. So, of course, tomorrow there's going to be one more day of the round of 32, and then the whole weekend there will not be GSL because the MLG tournament will be going on, and some of the competitors from GSL will be there.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Bomber is playing today because he's got MLG to go to. So today's not his scheduled day, but he will be playing against an ST. And the fourth match, but the third match, the match we have coming up is Slayers Young versus MVP Violet.
It's going to be pretty cool, actually. I'm
It is
really
gonna be
looking
pretty
forward
cool.
to that. It's
Violet is a player who's really shown himself. Like, he just kind of appeared suddenly, and he hasn't done badly yet. You know, he's done really well in most of his games. So he has a lot of potential. A lot of people are looking at him going, this guy's pretty scary. He's pretty good.
Now, here's the thing, though, is Violet, he's done very well against other Zergs. He beat another Zerg to get here. He's still undefeated versus Zerg. He's done well against Protoss. hasn't beaten a Terran yet. Now, partly that's
true.
because in his entire GSL history, he's played the entirety of MVP. So
He's pretty good, I heard.
MVP is pretty good. What are you talking about? That scrub didn't even make it to the round of 16. So bad. Just kidding. Anyway, so
You better be kidding.
point being, we don't really know what Violet is capable of versus Terran players.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have a player that's like really, really good, but they just don't understand a matchup. So I don't think that's the case with Violet, but I'm just saying like we have yet to see, so we can't really say too much.
Yeah, and even if he didn't understand it before, he may have figured it out since then. So I'm really excited to see his potential here in this matchup now today, because his ZVZ has been awesome. And his ZVT, we haven't really seen a whole lot yet. So let's take a look at our players. Our very first player we've got lined up is Slayers Ryung, currently in Code A. Made it to the semifinals of Code A in May, but was not able to advance to Code S. His win rate versus Zerg is recently undefeated, 1 win and 0 losses. And to get here, he took out Inca 2-0.
Yeah, he had to face down some really difficult Protoss players, Hongan and MC, in his up and down matches, so he didn't get into Code S, but he did beat Revival, a pretty interesting Zerg, in Code A last season.
Yeah, Revival was able to take out Ensnare just recently. There's a shot of him now. Yeah, funny face, looks really focused.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I asked Ryung kind of how he was feeling today. I was doing. He's never like super confident. He's always like, yeah, I might win. He's kind of the same today. I remember I asked him before facing Inca, I'm like, man, you have to play fake. You have to face Inca. Like, how do you feel about that? He's like, oh. He just kind of like non-committal about it. He didn't seem that happy. And then he destroyed Inca hardcore.
Yeah.
So today I asked him the same thing. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, how's your TVD? He's like, I don't know. We'll find out. I'm like, all right. But when he gets in the game, he's super focused. So we're gonna find out her pretty soon. There's our Zerg player.
It's MVP Violet, former Warcraft 3 player, if I'm correct. And it's last time I said that, you were like, I think you're wrong. I was like, I don't know. He actually defeated OGS The Wind 2-0, and obviously has a 100% win rate versus Zerg. His recent Terrans, or actually all the Terrans I think he's ever been on televised.
Yeah.
It's a 0 win and 1 loss. Of course, it was against MVP. Currently a Code S player, though.
Yep, that's the thing. He did make it into Code S, whereas Ryung did not. Violet taken out, I believe. I don't know who took out the up and down matches. I'll find that out. But definitely made it into Code S on his first try. And so definitely a strong player. We're going to find out here pretty soon. The first map is going to be a very large map, Terminus RE. R-E.
Yeah, it's the revised edition.
I was just going to say, I already forgot what RE stood for.
LE is Ladder Edition, Revised Edition, and then there's Standards Edition. I think those are all the ones.
Let's see.
Moltrap looking up the stats.
I'm confused.
He's confused.
It's telling me that. Oh, never mind. I'm looking at Ryung stats. That's why I'm like confused. I'm like, oh, stats. Anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be Terminus. Some version of Terminus. RE is the one with the rocks that block your third, so there's like another way into your third base. So you can't just take one choke point and hold that. And I think it's going to be good for Violet. Probably going to see, oftentimes on this map, Terrans will take that big choke, and Zergs try and break down the side and get in.
Yeah, Ryung eliminated Tal'Darim Altar, which makes me wonder how he feels about his late game, because Tal'Darim Altar, a map that normally goes to the late game, and his first match is going to be on Terminus RE. So that could be showing of how his late game style ends up playing out. And of course, we do see that Violet eliminated Crossfire because, like I said last game, siege tanks are so powerful on the map, it's hard to use melee units, it's hard to break up if your opponent gets in a good position. So I think Zerg players is a pretty good choice to